When Daniel Horowitz appeared in courtrooms in Israel and Cyprus, he used the standard rules of evidence in those courtrooms. When he made a hearsay objection, the same rules applied in those courtrooms as in the United States. But what exactly is the hearsay rule, and why is it so universally accepted? The hearsay rule is a fundamental principle in law, and it restricts the use of out-of-court statements to prove the truth of what is being said. If you don't show up in court to face the jury, you don't get to throw stones. Essentially, it protects the integrity of evidence by ensuring that statements can be challenged through cross-examination. Imagine a witness saying, "My friend told me the defendant was holding a knife at the crime scene." Well, we don't care what your friend told you because you didn't cross-examine your friend. Did you ask him how well he saw the knife? Did you ask him whether he just thinks he saw a knife? You get the point. If something is important, then unless there is some exception, it has to come into the courtroom directly and face cross-examination. Now, why does this rule exist? I think you have a good sense of why. It is necessary to ensure fairness, accuracy, and reliability. Here are the key elements of hearsay. 1. It must be an out-of-court statement. The statement wasn't made during the current trial. 2. It is not just a report of what a witness heard someone else say. For example, you could see someone cursing at another person. They might say, "You are a terrible dope." Now, this might be evidence in court, not to prove that the other person really is a terrible dope. That would be introducing the evidence for its truth. It can be introduced to show that one person called another person a dope before they started fighting. There are exceptions, so that sometimes hearsay is allowed. You can introduce out-of-court statements by the opposing party, but this is fair because the other side can take the stand and disagree. There is something called an excited utterance. This is a spontaneous statement made in the heat of the moment. The concept that during the heat of the moment people blurt out the truth is behind this exception. Medical statements given to doctors for treatment purposes are in most places allowed to be introduced because there is a belief that people do not often lie to their doctors. This is just the tip of the hearsay iceberg. When attorney Daniel Horowitz taught trial law, he spent a great deal of time discussing this rule. There are many nuances and other exceptions, such as hearsay, within hearsay, and hearsay exceptions to protect due process of law. If you are going to a jury trial, an experienced trial attorney will be a master of all of the rules of evidence, including the hearsay rule. Knowing the rules of evidence is a critical trial skill and can be the difference between success and failure.
The Horowitz Law Office is a jury trial office. Daniel Horowitz has been a law professor and has taken over 200 cases to trial. If you need a trial lawyer, call Daniel Horowitz at 925-283-1863. Thank you for watching our video.